You guys can. Good morning, my fellow Toastmasters. I am here to give you my speech on being a protege. Protege is somebody, let me read the definition for you. I had to kind of look it up. It's a person who is guided and supported by an older and more experienced or influential person. And my dad is somebody who is very special to me. He's not too much in my life right now, but when he was a very influential person to me. And I am my father's daughter, is what I named my speech. I named my speech that because I am one of six daughters my dad has. My poor dad did not have a chance in life. He did not have any sons, and he had to deal with what he had to deal with. And I, being the oldest daughter of his, did a lot of the things with him. And that meant playing sports, going out and cutting wood with him. We would do a lot of camping as well as fishing with him. We had lots of fun with our dad. He was the best, and he guided us through our life, and I appreciate that from him as well. But a couple of things that I want to talk about is our sports and how he guided us through our sports life as well. I love to play sports. I played volleyball, basketball, and softball. Volleyball was fun, and I wish I would have done that more often, maybe try to get something college-wise, but that didn't was not in the light for me as well. But my dad loved to play softball and basketball. He played it up into his 50s and 60s. Um, Granted, he wasn't as fast back then as he got older, but he loved to watch us play ball. And my dad and my mom were always there guiding us, taking us to games, letting us go to practice, hanging out with the friends. But my dad was there to help us teach the things that he wanted us to learn. And that was the sports that he liked. He liked basketball, so he would play with us with the basketball. My sister is a lot better basketball player than I am. She could bounce the ball around her back, through the legs. Me, I was not that coordinated. But my sister Theta, she was that one that was got that special from playing basketball. But I like basketball because my two best friends played it, as well as the rest of our tiny little town played basketball. And we did make it to state one year. We ended up not doing very well, but I was still just a sophomore while those people were playing basketball. I think I got to play maybe a couple minutes, but that was fun. But softball was another thing. Dad would take the time and guide us and show us how to throw the ball, especially the softball, which is a little bigger than a baseball. Baseball's really tiny, softball's a lot bigger. And he was the one that would make sure that our field was ready for the softball games because he managed, he was the maintenance guy for the building for the place that we played softball. And that was one of his jobs that he liked to do. And he was out there measuring everything to making sure all the sides were the correct length as well. He would do a lot with me, show me how to throw the ball, how to hit the ball, as well as how to play each spot. Like I could play the outfield, but that was not my strongest thing. When I first started, my dad had showed me kind of how to play shortstop. So I was a pretty good shortstop at like 13 or 14. And even back then, we were playing with our parents. And parents would play. My mom didn't play, but my dad did. But we had a co-ed team that I played with, and my aunt, my mom's sister played. My dad, my uncles, my aunts, they would play, and we would just have lots of fun and go to different tournaments. And that is how my dad just guided me through life, just mentoring me, coaching me through the sports, and especially softball. And I am very thankful that he was able to be there in my life. And I hope that all of you will remember times with your family members that you have in your life. And I take for granted sometimes those things as well. But I do have the memories, which I need to write down. And I'm very grateful for Mary that she writes her poems down and her stories down. I think I'm going to just have to sit down and start writing those stories about my dad, my grandma, my grandpa, my aunts and uncles. We have some good stories that I could probably just write down and be thankful that they were in my life and that my dad was a very influential person to me and my sisters. And with that, I will turn this back over to Mary. Thank you.
Gotta unmute myself. It is always something special when a parent helps a child learn about life through sports. And it sounds like your dad was a very special man in helping you with sports, with softball, and just spending the time with you, making sure the baseball diamond was perfect. It's very rare to have that kind of father. So now I will turn it over to our general evaluator, and he will continue the meeting. Very good job, Leigh. I enjoyed it. Wait a minute. I'm wrong. Table topics master. So the evaluator can have time. Table
Thank you very
topics.
much, Madam. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. It's really interesting how our meetings are going. And table topics is a subject that 1 to 2 minutes to give the evaluator time to do the evaluation. Mary, I was thinking about your theme of today. And why did you pick today's theme? Take it away, Mary.
Today's theme of the summer solstice has always fascinated me. And I actually looked it up to find out what causes the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. And it's because the sun travels the furthest away from the earth. What did my notes say? It's when the path of the sun in the sky is furthermost north in the northern hemisphere and furthest south in the southern hemisphere. The sun travels the longest path through the sky, and that day, therefore, has the most daylight. I always wondered why we always had more daylight on the 20th or 21st. So I went with summer solstice. Plus, it's a day people celebrate. Different regions of the world celebrate the summer solstice in their own way. That I didn't look up, but maybe I can do a speech on the summer solstice and the winter solstice so we can get an idea what makes them so special. But you know they're the longest day and the shortest day of the year. But why? So that's going to be my next project, is to find out. The sun travels away from the earth, or away or farther north, or whatever. Confusing myself here, so forgive me. But summer solstice is a day to celebrate the beginning of summer. And we're going to be looking forward to some hot weather. something I'm not too thrilled about because I like it in the 70s. I don't like the 80s and the 90s because I don't like being outside. So thank you for that question, Jim. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Mary. Now, Darlene, if I can get this unlocked. It's quite a challenge. There we go. I know you don't want to see red all the time. Unbeknownst to me, it sticks sometimes. Darlene, what do you think about summer and what it should be and the temperature?
Hello, Toastmasters. Summer, I've always felt like summer is my favorite season of the year. I think it's the sunshine that it just takes away that gloom of over when the clouds are when it's raining and the gloom of winter. Spring is kind of an in-between. And summer is bright and sunny, and that makes me feel good. Temperature, however, my favorite temperature, I think, it depends on what I'm doing. I like it to be in the high 70s, low 80s. That's kind of ideal. When it gets warmer than that, it's kind of miserable. And I've discovered you have to be really careful about not letting yourself get overheated in the sun. Drink lots of water, lots and lots and lots of water. That helps. And make sure that if you're out in the sun, that you stay in a shaded area and don't move around too much. Do not overexert yourself because things can happen. I can attest to that personally. But I love summertime just because it brings joy to me. I can grow my plants and harvest my tomatoes or whatever I'm growing and just enjoy summertime. And in summertime, you can do activities that you couldn't do in the wintertime too, like go to the park and have a picnic or just lots of things that you could do in the summer that you can't do any other time of the year. Back to you, Mr. Table Topic Master. If you can figure out how to get back to you.
There we go. It's a challenge. And unbeknown to me, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this new timing system because it does take a little bit to get used to. Leigh, what are you going to be doing this summer since summer has arrived?
Good morning and thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master, for that question. What are we going to do? We have a fishing trip planned from July 20th. We're going to head out and stop partway on our trip, spend the night, and July 21st, we're heading to CQ, Washington. It's kind of in between Nia Bay and Port Angeles, and we're going to go fishing. And I am so looking forward to being gone the whole week. I will not be at Toastmasters a couple times in July, July 2nd and whatever the July 21st, 21st, July 23rd. I won't be in Toastmasters. I'll be out on a boat fishing. So I'm hoping we catch lots of fish so that we have some fish for our freezer. I'm not quite sure what we're fishing for yet. I'm thinking it's halibut, but I am not sure, or cod. I am not quite sure what we're fishing for. Just get me out on the boat. I will be so happy to get out there, fish. We haven't had any fishing trips yet this year. My husband was waiting for something to fix the axle on his boat, so we hadn't gone or done any fishing yet. But I'm looking forward to fishing and that vacation July 20th through the 27th. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Whoops. I'll get this right here. Oh, there we go. How's that? I'm getting better. I'm glad you guys have patience. Unbeknownst to me, I know Darlene's got a whip in there somewhere to keep me in line. Now, I will take over as general evaluator. Again, the meeting started on time. We always have fun at these meetings because we never know what's going to happen or who's going to mess up. And unbeknownst to me, I am the only one so far that has messed up. Our evaluator today to evaluate Leigh's speech is Darlene. Darlene, take it away.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, and especially Leigh, you excel at describing your role as the oldest daughter. I really enjoyed listening to your passion and your respect that I could tell that you had for your father. You may want to work on just keep giving us speeches. You are improving with every speech that you give. To challenge yourself, give more speeches about your family. Your spoken language is clear and easily understood. Your voice is very easy to listen to, like the pitch of your voice. It's not too high and it's not too low. It's just really easy to listen to. You have good voice inflection and you're very conversational. It's like you're talking right directly to us and you're looking right at us. So your eye contact is good. Your gestures were much improved over the last speech that you gave. You had them where we could actually see them this time, and they were appropriate for whatever you were saying. Were your audience awareness, you were very aware. You were talking about something we could all identify with, and that is how we relate to our parents, our father in particular, but relating to the person or persons that are most important in our lives. Your comfort level, you were very comfortable with us. Like I said, it's as if you were talking one-on-one with each one of us. Was your speech interesting and well constructed? Yes, it was. I enjoyed the descriptions, the tournaments, and your sports activities that your dad supported and enjoyed watching you and your sisters participate in. Did you share your personal experience as a protege? You did. We all enjoyed your tribute to your dad. Like I said, we could tell that you have high respect for your father because he supported the activities that he wanted you to do, and you obviously enjoyed doing because of that. I enjoyed your speech very much, Leigh, and I will get this email to you. I'll type it all out so you can read my writing because I scribbled really bad. I'll get it all typed out and email to you sometime either today or tomorrow. It's lots going on today. So back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Darlene. Very interesting evaluation, and it was a good evaluation. Now it's time to hear from our grammarian. Madam Grammarian, how did we do?
Good morning. Unbeknownst to you guys, I am very terrible at being a grammarian. I get so caught up in listening to everybody speak that I always have a hard time noticing any ahs or ums. So I didn't notice any of those. Jim won word of the day. I caught 5, and he probably has more than that, but that's what I caught. Mary said it a couple times. Darlene, I don't know if you said it or not. Did you say the word?
I don't think I did.
Okay. And I only used it when I introduced the word. And then, other than that, I don't have anything else. It's my least favorite job. I need to either
I agree, it's the
Leigh, who
hardest.
won
It's
the
the hardest. Yeah. I get caught up in
Leigh,
them. It's like, yes.
Leigh,
Jim,
who won the Wizard of Oz?
Darlene.
Okay, Darlene won the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
All right. Now for timers report. It was a bit of a challenge. I believe the more I use this, I'll like this better. And the reason I went to this one, excuse me, is unbeknownst to me, there's many people who do not like to see my face in the middle of the screen when the screen is in the background. Leigh, speech was supposed to be 5 to 7 minutes. It was 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Table topics. Mary was 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Darlene was 1 minute and 59 seconds. And Leigh was 1 minute and 29 seconds. Darlene's evaluations of Leigh's speech was 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Please get your votes into me for best table topics and most improved. Now it's time to go back to our Toastmaster, Mary. Take it away, Mary.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Yes, Leigh, that was a very good speech. I really enjoyed it. Tribute to dads.